So that's D.
And that's T.
We are 20 years old.
I mean, even though we don't always act like it,
we are trying to find ways to identify ourselves
through art, the environment, spirituality, entrepreneurship,
starting in Toronto and leading to the world.
This is D&T Identities.
Tears of sorrow, meditation, prayer, police brutality. As we both wake up and just turn on news to see what's really going on, we truly don't know, or we're not even asked how we really feel and mentally what we're really going through. I mean, Bible could work, reading the Bible. How do we truly cope? What's our thoughts on Black Lives Matter and police brutality? How am I dealing with this police brutality? I pray about it. I vent about it. I talk about it. I make sure that I keep people aware. I make sure that I'm educated. Personally, I see it as leeching. I feel like it's a leeching season. A lot of Black people are dying. And a lot of people are trying to cover it up in terms of ignorance. Like, oh, well, they should have done this and they should have done that. And I think it's a lot more deeper than that. Okay, so my pros on social media, well, media in general. I'm glad that the truth of what's really going on is circling on Tumblr and Instagram. Mostly Tumblr, I find. I don't have too much cons on social media because I am happy that people are talking about it. I mean, yeah, people can do a lot, but educating, let alone education, and actually it being talked about, because it's really a taboo in society, but actually having that being talked about is a step.
Police brutality does have a toll on my mental health. Like, I'm a part of a Black women empowerment group at school, and like, we meet up every Thursdays, and we're always talking about like issues in the Black community, and then we talk about issues being a woman, and then talk about like issues being a Black woman, and then like, it's great to have an outlet to freely talk about it, but then also at the same time it's sometimes draining too, because it's like you're always being like constantly reminded that like no matter what you do, like society just paints you one kind of way. And I mean, that's what we're trying to break through the group, and I can see that happening. And like, even last week we had like a poetry event and just videos about like Black women empowerment, and I saw like a whole bunch of like Black women being so poetic and so vulnerable, and like it made me so emotional. But like, it's so frustrating at the same time, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, it's gonna change. Like, I have faith that it will change. But like, with everything that grows and everything that changes, like, there's always hurt and hurdles and things that you have to go through. But for police brutality in itself, because I know so much about the history, and because I took and I read a lot about like Black issues starting from Africa and slavery and all that stuff. Honestly, I haven't, after the coverage, I forgot what the young man's name was. It was when it's when they were protesting and the police officer got killed after that.
Was it in Dallas?
I think it was Dallas. Honestly, after watching
Philando.
It was after Philando Castle. It was after him and the other guy. I think Eric Garner. Yeah, it was after them, and then something else happened, or maybe it was because of that, and then they started protesting, and someone killed a police officer.
Yeah.
After all that commotion, I honestly, like, I was watching the news, which I don't usually do. I'm a communications major, and I think it's corrupt, so I'd really try not to watch it. But it's when I really started to get into it, because I got Tumblr, and I used to follow, like, I'm a part of the Black Tumblr community, and finally clicked for me, and I think it's beautiful that all of us could share our frustrations, and that we could share our knowledge on our history on social media. But I think that people kind of just leave everything to social media. Like, they don't really apply it to their everyday life. Like there's one thing to talk about it on Black Tumblr. There's one thing to talk about it and like bitch about it on Twitter and stuff. But then there's one thing to actually go out to your community and, like, when people say ignorant things to you, to call them out. Don't know, and then you just have to educate them.
Personally, for me, it has been taking a mental toll, only because I do have somebody that's really close to me who was recently arrested, and the police actually added on extra charges and lied about the situation and what had happened. And he is a young man. He just turned 18, so now they're going to try him as an adult, which makes it a lot harder. And it's been extremely hard to understand and grasp everything that's happening. We all have seen the videos of people laying down, hands up, and even sound from police officers saying he was complying, but they still shoot them. I think it's absolutely disgusting. It's almost basically like, literally to me what it looks like is when people go hunting. Yeah. And you literally just see the animal, and the animal is peaceful, but you still shoot it and kill it in the worst way. You're shooting its head, then even though you see it hit the ground, you're still shooting it multiple times. It's basically just a slaughterhouse. That's literally what the earth has become, a slaughterhouse. And you know, I've got 2 younger brothers, I've got male people in my family, and even like for my father to go out constantly, because he's somebody who does not take lightly to insults, does not take lightly to harassment. I'm constantly in the fear of what can happen to them, what will happen to them, and even for me as well. Like, I want to commend the Black community, because they are constantly at the beck and call of every single incident that has been happening, especially the Aboriginals as well, who have been with Black Lives Matters for like 2-3 years now, because they understand what we're going through and we understand what they are. But when it comes to what's going on with females, because it's not being put on TV, a lot of people are not able to understand. You know, we have hashtag say her name, and so even for myself, I'm fearful. For my other sisters, I'm very fearful as well, because you know, if it's not that they're raping us now, all of a sudden they want to shoot us, or they want to lock us up in jail, rape us, hang us, and then say it was a suicide. And I honestly don't understand why. I guess we're just too big of a threat for them. They see how much power we hold in our hands, even though some of us haven't realized it yet, and they want to kill that power before it happens. It's basically just like Malcolm X all over again. You know, when he put his hand up and told everybody, look left and start marching, police officers were completely dumbfounded. They didn't understand how one man can have that kind of power, and they're basically scared that that's what's happening now. So they want to kill us off slowly, and in hopes that it'll silence us. But instead, you know, we're coming out stronger than ever. Bloods are, you know, now uniting with Crips. That's something that hasn't happened for quite a few amount of years. And so to them, I kind of say, you know what, I feel sorry for you. You brought it on yourself. We're about to come stronger, bigger than ever. We are kings, queens, empresses, just like we were in Africa. And you know what? Get ready for it. That's all get ready for it. Mental slavery, I did hear about it last year. You know, how people were like, that we have PTSD about what has been happening. Personally, for myself, I can't say that I have PTSD about slavery, because I didn't pick cotton. I didn't have to experience as much as slaves did. Although, you know, in post-secondary, you know, in university, they basically do treat us as slaves. But I would say that my mental heartache isn't because of slavery. My mental heartache is from what's happening now. You know, in high school, they were telling me, oh, you want to go to university? Why? You should go to college or just work, because you won't be able to make it. That's where my mental heartache comes from. Being told I can't do it, and now I have to prove that I can do it. But there's times where, you know, I'm sitting down, and if I'm not understanding what a simple word is, all of a sudden everything that they said about me from once upon a time just comes back into my head, and I'm like, yo, maybe I should give up. Maybe it would be easier to strip or to hang out with a drug dealer and, you know, just make money that way. Maybe that's the smartest thing to do. And so when it comes to the PTSD of slavery, I have to say no. But the PTSD of modern day slavery and modern day lynching is where my stress comes from and where my heartache comes from. So my name's Amina. You can find me on social media at Mimi_loves, and it's MII_LUVZ on everything. Facebook, there's no underscore, it's just a space. Definitely want to shout out some big people in Toronto that are doing some amazing movements, such as Femi Lawson, Lola Buns, African Students Association, UPSA, of course, above all, UPSA, CSA, Kujam, Black Women Bridging Borders, which is a new club that has an amazing idea, and I'm so happy that they've been, so brave to come out and start a club. York Students for Women and Children, SCAGO, which is Sickle Cell Organization of Canada, helping families who have sickle cell and bringing up their awareness. And all the amazing Black entrepreneurs who came from other countries and still are making amazing amount of money and not forgetting where they came from and donating back. You guys are like the reason why I'm still in school and the reason why I want to do better and open up a school in Africa, and also a homeless shelter and food bank here in Toronto, one that doesn't discriminate against people in order for them to get food. So definitely continue. Be strong, Black people. Be strong, be strong, be strong, because you are the reason why everybody else on this earth came to light.